Welcome to Salute to the Ears, where my family and I discuss everything Disney, from parks, food, and rides to travel tips, movies, and more. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Salute to the Ears. I am your host, Jeremy Simon.
And I'm Erica.
And we are getting ready for our trip back down to Disney World.
I'm ridiculously excited, and at the same time, I'm shocked. I can't believe we're going back.
Yeah, we're going back, and it just happens to be somebody's birthday.
Maybe.
It's
the last one I'm having for a while, so It's fine.
I was going to say the number, and then I thought twice and figured out how you handle that. And
I'm going to stay this number for a few years, I think.
It's not so bad. But there's lots of stuff going on down there. And We've been doing lots of stuff to try and get ready. So
lots of ordering of things.
And them getting in last minute. We were sweating it.
Read the fine print when you order from Etsy. Okay, I'm just saying. Read the not only the shipping time but the turnaround time.
Right.
That's all I'm gonna say.
It was close. We didn't know if it was gonna make it. And what else was close was my Magic Band Plus.
Yeah.
We just got that. Yesterday? Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it yesterday, and we're leaving in 3 days. So it was close.
And you ordered that
the day they came out.
Yeah.
And
so end of July.
Right. And I have seen that a lot of people are having issues with it, that they ordered them on that day for their upcoming trip and they hadn't gotten them yet. So what I'm seeing people need to do is contact Disney, find a line for merchandise.
Yes.
And contact them, and what they're doing is they will either have it sent directly over to your resort, or if it's not going to be in time, they're giving people $50 gift cards
to go get a new one.
Get a new one in the park. Yeah, and then when your new one comes out, you still get to keep that one as well.
Oh, nice! I didn't realize that. Yeah, I mean, because the thing is that ordering it, if you ordered it within your window, right? If you were staying on property and so you had the opportunity to order a Magic Band ahead of your trip, right?
Right.
And to order it at the discounted price ahead of your trip, and you ordered it within the set window of when they said you need to order by this date in order for it to arrive. If you ordered it within that window, you are expecting for that
right to
be there in time. Right. I mean, that's why they give you that window. We were well within our window.
Yeah.
Almost 2 weeks within our window when you ordered, I think. You still had 10 to 14 days or something left.
Yeah, more than that. Yeah.
When you ordered. And so it should have been
no issue.
Yeah.
It should have been no issue. I wouldn't have mind picking it up at the resort, but here's the problem you run into if you pick it up at the resort or you buy it at the park is those things are not fully charged. You can use it like a regular Magic Band, but any of the interactive stuff that you want to do, that battery may die really quickly and you won't be able to do that stuff.
I mean, the option is you could, if you have a portable charger, it comes with a charger. You could plug it into your portable charger and let it charge for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to take all night. It's probably similar to charging I have a smartwatch. I have a Samsung watch and it charges, it's fast.
Right.
I mean, in an hour, it's fully charged.
Yeah. It took yesterday when I plugged it in, took a little bit longer than an hour to get fully charged, but it was definitely a couple hours. It was done. I don't know how much of a charge was on that though. That could have been half full. It could have been almost full. It could have been hardly anything on it. Yeah. So I don't know, but just heads up if you're getting it from the resort or you're getting it from the parks, they might not have much battery juice in order to do the interactive stuff.
We've been kind of compiling a list of we keep finding things where we're like, oh, right, we probably should grab that. Oh, right, we should probably grab that. Which seems weird considering that we're just there. It's not like we don't know. We've traveled there how many times. We've traveled elsewhere. We've been, like we talk about it all the time, and we watch vlogs and read blogs and listen to other, podcasters and talk about like what you should bring, why you should bring it, all these things. We know what to bring, and yet here we are.
Last minute,
if you think. Now, some of that, though, has been, actually quite a bit of it has been in relation to something we haven't gotten to do since 2019, and that is Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
I'm so happy. We didn't even think about this whenever we booked this trip.
Well, no, I thought about it. I was hoping.
Right.
But it was not booked with the intent of going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
Right.
It was booked. I mean, it was booked with the intent of celebrating my birthday, but it definitely was something that,
it's a good extra.
It's a good extra.
And we're going on the night of the 23rd.
Yes.
So if you're there on the 23rd and you listen to this, find us on Twitter, Instagram, and hit us up, and we'll try and say hi.
Yep.
Be more than happy. But I think that is definitely the one thing that I think both of us are looking forward to probably the most is Mickey's Not So Scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing, like, we keep trying to find, like, we're talking about, like, well, what are we going to do with the, like, during this time, or, like, the other days of our trip, and, like, are we doing Genie Plus for, this park, or, like, what rides do you want to ride, and, like, what are your top things, like, we're talking, but then it's, like, we talk about that for 2 minutes, and then we're like, oh, and did you see the photo pass for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party? And like,
yeah, which if you haven't seen the photo pass opportunities for the party,
Disney Parks blog put out a whole post about it today, and I was like, I want to do that one and that one and that one.
Right, and they've put up selfie places around the park too, like different scenes behind you, like a headless horseman and. Oh, what was one of the other ones?
Isn't there a Hocus Pocus one?
I think there's a Hocus Pocus one. There's a 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Like, they've got fun stuff to do throughout the parks.
Oh,
or
yeah.
Not throughout the parks, but throughout Magic Kingdom.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking the lands around Magic Kingdom, right? Like, you're thinking, like, there's one near Tomorrowland, and there's one, over by Adventureland, and like, so I mean, they're spread out, those photo opportunity booths. What I don't know with those is are those you take the picture only, or are there going to be photographers there?
I'm not for sure.
Because I mean, they are big scenes where you have to have somebody else take that photo of you within the scene. So I'm curious to see if
it would make sense if there was PhotoPass there.
I'm going to have to look at that and see if there is PhotoPass there or not. It's hard because so many of like the vloggers and stuff that we follow don't do a lot of PhotoPass opportunities typically.
Right. And you find that with a lot of people who go routinely.
Yeah.
Well,
you can't, I mean, getting Memory Maker added to your annual pass is different than what it used to be. It used to be really easy to add it.
It used to be part of your annual pass. And it's no longer there.
So it's changed, and so that's different with it. But I'm super excited about some of the PhotoPass opportunities, because sometimes when you get PhotoPass opportunities at the parks, when it's not a holiday like this, not a spooky holiday where it being dark around you works for the atmosphere, right? They just come out, with the bright light on you, like from their ring light or from their flash or whatever. And it's just kind of like, ooh, you can tell that it's like dark and they were trying to illuminate you. Like, and sometimes it comes out a little funky. These, though, I think come off really well because they're able to spookify them a little bit, and it just makes it more like, it just adds to.
It does. And these are special photo passes you can only get for this event. Like, if you don't know what Mickey's Not So Scary is, it's a special hard-ticketed event on certain nights during the week.
So it runs from August. It started August 12th, and it's running all the way
till
Halloween night.
Yep, Halloween night. That's the last night.
There are already multiple dates sold out.
All the August dates are sold out.
Yes. few in September, not a lot in September is open,
Right.
which actually kind of surprised me. But there's a lot. There's still a lot in October open too, but
Right.
Halloween is gone.
Halloween's gone, and that long weekend around President's Day,
Yes.
it's gone.
President's Day.
Not President's Day. What is that? Columbus
Columbus
Day.
Day.
Columbus Day. Yeah, whatever.
Right? Is that Columbus Day?
Yeah.
I don't know. The long weekend that everybody usually gets off for like parent teacher conferences or fall break or whatever
Right.
for school, that weekend is very, very busy. So you
Right.
will be hard pressed to get a ticket. Some nights they do have opportunities where you can walk up and buy a ticket.
Right. That's what I was
Kind
going
of
to say.
will call, but like you or not will call, but like walk up and like at guest
Right.
services buy a ticket. Not guaranteed.
Right.
Call guest services like that
Go-
afternoon, but
just go by. If you're there and you're like, oh, I really wanted to go to this and I didn't get a ticket, go by. Like, just go by there and ask them.
yeah.
They may very well be like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Now, if it's like Halloween night, I wouldn't plan on
No.
that. If it's
No,
those
but
nights
especially
that are
during the ones during the week.
right, I think we're going to see a lot of, oh, it's sold out as you get close to those dates.
Mm-hmm.
And sold out for August 23rd whenever we go, and sold out for October 31st. It's probably going to be two different sold outs.
Oh, yes. I'm positive it is. One, because you are planning for the staffing for everything for the 31st.
Right.
Like, you know that's going to be crazy. It's the most coveted, like, night of
Right.
this ticketed event. But so it ends up being the hardest one to come by, really. But it's,
Right.
they always have more people there than what they do
Right.
the other nights because it is the one that like everybody wants. It's really, it's such a fun night to celebrate just all the different spooky things
Right.
and all the different ride overlays.
Yeah. They're so fun. They're so fun.
The only one I don't love, like we've done it, I
I know-
don't know
I know
that I'll
where
do
you're
it
going.
again,
Yeah.
is Space Mountain.
Yeah, and it's like pitch black.
It
Is
is
it
pitch black.
Hyperspace Mountain? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And it's like pitch black. What little lights you have in there are off. It's pitch black. So if you have neck or back issues at all, don't do this one because it will really get you.
Or if you are afraid of the dark, like, because even if you were afraid of the dark or like the confined spaces, like in
Right.
dark like spaces, a lot of us could get through. If you're afraid of that, you could get
Right.
through it because there was little, you
Right.
could still kind of see little things if you allowed your eyes to adjust, like, but
Right.
now you can't see anything.
Nope.
And it's not that it was scary to me. It was jarring because you
was.
really can't see where
No,
you're
you
going.
can't see your hand in front of your face.
No, like nothing. And so, I mean, there's not even the lights going up, like to start
Right.
when you go like up the ramp.
No, there's nothing. And the other rides that have the overlays is like the teacups. They got their own overlay and special music. The Haunted Mansion ride itself doesn't have a special overlay, but there's entertainment going on outside, which is fantastic.
And cast members there are dressed up more.
Right.
So they have
And it'll be a little bit more interactive.
more makeup on. They've got cobwebs,
Right.
on their costume. Like they just it's a little more it's
Yeah.
a little spookier. It's a little jazzed up. The one that I love though for the ride overlay
Pirates?
is Pirates.
Pirates is so good. The ride itself, there's not,
No, there's
no
nothing you can
change.
do in the ride.
but you got live actors in there.
Sometimes you have live actors in the like every once in
Right.
a while
They'll
in
like
the
be
ride.
up on the like
The
little
bridge.
bridge thing you go by,
Yep.
go under, but they're in the queues as
Mm-hmm.
well, like behind the bars or in there playing chess. Like it's fantastic.
Yep, or walking around like they are in it, and it is so fun. Again, just adds that extra level to what you're doing. There are lots of treats available while you're at Mickey's Not So Scary, which is
It's
super fun.
trick or treating, and they are everywhere. And they have markers to like mark where they're at, and you get the little map. But it's like as much as you can handle because you can go through as many times as you want, and they're giving it to you by the
Yeah,
handfuls.
it's not like you like get stamped and like they're like, oh, you've already been here. Sorry,
Right.
like I often have, like, every once in a while, I'll have kids that kind of try to come by more than once on Halloween night and, like, come through trick-or-treating. And a lot of times I will tell them, like, nope, you can't, like, weren't you already here? Like, no, they want you to take as much as you want because...
They're getting a bunch because all of it's coming from Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So,
not the planet,
no.
but the candy company.
Yeah. I hope it wasn't coming from the planet.
Oh.
Yeah, so much candy. But I think what really kind of separates like this event apart is the entertainment. And with entertainment, I'm also including like meet and greets.
Oh yeah.
You have very difficult to get meet and greets. You usually don't get so it's usually hard to get Jack and Sally there.
Yeah.
But they're there this time. Key with them, according to King Daka, who's on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube.
Yes.
Who was there this week? Get in line early. Like the party starts at 7. I think he was in line at 5.
Yeah. Typically, you can get into the event at 4.
Right.
Which is your ticket for the event, even though Magic Kingdom doesn't close until 6. So one of my favorite meet and greets, though, that is there, and sometimes is available elsewhere and for other events and things, like, is not always like a exclusive to Mickey's Not So Scary the way that Jack and Sally is. But that is Captain Hook and Smee.
Right. You have Captain Hook and Smee, which that one's nostalgic for us.
That's one of my all-time favorite Disney memories of our kids. It is up there in the top 10.
The first time we did this party, Jackson was, 3 or 4?
Yeah. And
he saw Captain Hook, and he called him a codfish, and Captain Hook started reacting and spinning around in circles and having fun with him. It was a good, it's a good memory. But you got all kinds of them, like Jasmine and the Genie.
Yep.
And Aladdin and Abu. They're out there. Like, you got all kinds of good ones. One of the good ones I saw there's a dance party, the Monsters, Inc., and the one is kind of red and orange and keeps getting the sock stuck on him.
Yeah. He
comes out there as part of the dance party.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and he has the sock stuck on the back of him.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
$23.19.
Right.
It's the other one that's coming out with this year, which is new. It's the new character to come out, like, new dressed character, and that is Powerline Max.
Oh yeah, and he's with his 90s friends.
Yeah.
Like, just dancers that are coming with him at the beginning part of the parade.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
So
Love
he doesn't
it.
actually have a meet and greet, but just the fact to get to see Max as Powerline, like, full costume, the whole 9 yards, I'm like, this is epic.
Yeah, and he's out there dancing and kind of getting the crowd warmed up, ready for the parade. And that parade goes twice a night. And for me, out of all the Disney parades I've seen, it's my favorite parade.
Yeah.
Like, without a doubt. Between the Headless Horseman, who, if you haven't ever seen that, it's fantastic. It just kind of blows my mind every time I see it. And the Gravediggers with their shovels, it's fantastic. The problem with the parade is that stinking song gets stuck in your head the whole night.
Boo to you.
Yes.
It's the Boo to You parade, and it is awesome. You also have a fireworks show.
You do?
You also have stage shows.
Yes, you do. The Hocus Pocus.
The Hocus Pocus stage show. Like, I'm so excited. We have chosen not to, like, fully dress up this year. We typically don't, like, when we've gone with the kids.
Right.
Or we haven't dressed up fully just because we were either dealing with littles or dealing with heat or...
Right.
So we're kind of doing our old standby.
We're getting Halloween style shirts. It's like, I have a Sleepy Hollow Headless Horseman style shirt, and you're gonna be rocking a Hocus Pocus shirt.
I am.
And which kind of fits for both of those, for the parade and the stage show.
Yep.
So we're wearing something special for it. I think part of our problem was we couldn't figure out what we wanted to do.
We went through so many costume choices. I mean, that's one of the things that's been exciting about this trip is getting to, typically we try to go through and like pick out t-shirts or like pick out like some stuff to wear together, or, do as a family or when we go. And it's a lot of fun, but this one has been different in trying to do the Halloween party dressing up and picking out costumes together. And we went through a bunch of options. I mean, we were looking at the possibility of being Donald and Daisy.
Yep.
Herc and Meg.
Yep.
We were looking at the possibility of being...
Oh, now I'm drawing a blank on all of them.
We had a couple of really good ones,
we
too.
eliminated Carl and Ellie pretty quick as we sit here and stare at Carl and Ellie.
We love Carl and Ellie. They're two of our absolute favorites, but it just got really hard to do for us.
Yep. We looked at Wally and Eve.
Yep. Wally and Eve was one of the big ones that we really were considering. But again, still wasn't going to be this like elaborate, I wasn't going to have like white body paint on or anything like that. Like, the other big one we looked at was doing Captain America and Peggy Carter.
Right.
And so, but we were going to do them when
he first comes out of the machine.
Yeah.
Like white t-shirt, khaki pants that are all too small for him. Yeah, we were close to doing that, but
my thing was, I was like, I'm not going to be able to ride any rides because I'm going to do my hair like that, and then I'm not going to want to ride a roller coaster because
you're going to screw up your
hair. I'm going to screw up my hair.
Right.
So that was kind of what eliminated stuff for me, was that I was like, look, I want to be able to have fun and grab content for you guys and, take pictures and do all this stuff without having to worry about, messing up our costumes or anything like that. We do really enjoy getting to do the rides during this. Typically, most of them don't have long waits.
Yep.
Haunted Mansion and Pirates usually have the longest waits. Like the overlaid ones usually have the longer waits. But even then, you're still not talking about a park that is at capacity.
No. And it's the first one they said, wow, hardly anybody's here. Even though it was sold out. And then, like, listening to or following along with King Deca on Twitter and Instagram this last week, when he went, he was like, it's really busy. It's busier at night than it was during the day. But they were also, this last week during the day, the parks haven't been nearly as busy as they have been. So.
Well, it's hard because, like, so many areas like ours are school's back in session.
Right.
So people are like, well, vacation's over.
Right.
And Florida, I think
Florida already started. Florida started before we did.
Yeah, Florida already started. And then, pretty much everybody will be started by Labor Day.
Right.
But, you'll be 2 weeks out from that on Monday. So a lot of schools have started.
Right. If the school itself hasn't started, then fall sports have started.
Mm-hmm.
So you got people that don't necessarily want to be away from fall sports either. There's, other than the entertainment and the rides, there's also lots of very specific treats during this event as well. From a corn cake, which is actually like an almond cake that's made to look like a corn on the cob, which doesn't sound like it would be like anything fancy, but everybody keeps talking about how good that sucker is.
Yeah.
That surprises me. I think it surprises everybody. To cupcakes and shakes. Like there's an apple pie shake or something like that that's supposed to be really good. Or caramel apple shake. I'd have to look again to see what is apple something. But there's lots of good treats and desserts. And then if you're like, oh, I really want to go and I still want to be able to sit down and have dinner. They have dinner reservations open now during the party as well. I wouldn't recommend that.
No, I feel like you lose a lot of time to do the party to do that. Now, here's my thing. If that's like, if you had a restaurant that you were like, we want to eat here, this is where we want to be, I don't want to miss out on this, like, type of thing, and you want to go to that, like, then do it.
Right. But
I think we did it.
So what we did was we went in to eat before the party started.
That's right.
The party had started as we were finishing our dinner.
That's right. So we did that. Like, we came in early.
Right.
Like you could get in at 4 or 5 or whatever, and like our dinner reservation was like at 5:30 or 6,
Right.
and then the actual party itself starts at 7. So, but we had tickets for that day anyway too. So like even if we hadn't,
Yeah, and that was
gone
before
to-
there was any kind of park hopping restrictions. Like
Right.
there wasn't the 2 o'clock thing.
don't get me started on that. I'm super excited about Mickey's Not So Scary. Make sure you follow along with us on Instagram and Twitter because we're gonna be posting like crazy,
Right.
for both of those. Trying to get out as much as we can. We ended up, when we were down there in June, it was harder because we were really trying to spend time with our kids, with my dad.
Right.
Like there was content ended up taking a back seat
It
for
did.
a lot of that, just because it does take a lot of time to
It does.
get
It
stuff
does.
out. Like taking the photos or taking the video, not always so much. That's not necessarily taking up more time, but getting that content like published and writing captions and
Right.
and
It can take a bit.
adding context and all of that can
Right. And when you got 2 teenagers who want to get on to the next thing, is not
Mm-hmm.
sitting around and getting content is not.
which is fine. It was totally legit, and we really wanted to spend time with them versus getting
Right.
just content. And so we got what we could, but being able to bring it to you guys in real time was a lot harder
Right.
in doing that. So this time we're really hoping to be able to give you guys more real time information happening during our trip, and just be able to share that. So make sure
Right.
you follow along on Instagram and Twitter for that because we will be, sharing as much as we possibly can. But the other thing that I am like super excited about, and I only want to talk about this for just a minute because I want to keep this one pretty short,
Right.
is we are also going to Epcot, and
Right.
it is Food and Wine. We've talked a little bit about Food and Wine already
Right.
on here.
It
What's
feels
coming?
like Food and Wine started like months ago.
Yeah.
Like it hasn't. But
It started what, on the 4th or right after the 4th? Like
right. So yeah, it's been going a little bit, but this thing's like 6 months long. It's ridiculously long. It's by far the longest party, and there are so many different booths that have either just opened or been open for a long time. To sit here and go through and be like, I'm excited for this and this and this and this and this.
We'd be here
That'd be a
all night.
really long list, and then we're never going to be able to hit all those things.
No, and there's no way. One, it's a shortened day for us. It's a travel day for us. So, like, we're not going to be able to hit that,
Right.
like, hit everything because we're not going to be there from open to, we're not rope drop to midnight or for
Right.
good night kiss. Like,
Right.
we have
Right.
a shortened day anyway because of travel, but we're going to hit as many of those as we can, like ones that we want to go and see on our list. If there's any that you're like, you need to try this, like, please, I want to see a review on this, or like, I really want to know what you think of this, let us know in the comments. Send us a message on Twitter or Instagram, and we're going to try to grab as many of those as we can.
Right. And it'll be interesting to see what we decide to do. I'm not always the most adventurous eater. I'm more adventurous down there than I am when we're just like here.
Yeah.
But you have to, at Food and Wine, you have to be a little adventurous with some of this stuff.
You have to be a little adventurous, and it gets a little complex for me because you would be the only one drinking.
Yeah.
I'm sober, and so I don't drink, and I like that would.
Right.
So if there's any alcoholic drinks, you're going to be the only one trying them.
Whew, that could be a fun flight home.
But that is like, there are so many good drinks. Like there's so many
There
of
are.
them that I really wish, even like the really nice wines where I'm like, oh, that sounds amazing. But I wish they had more mocktails. That's probably the one thing that I will say I wish that they had is more
Right.
like craft mocktails and specialty drinks available. Like there are some.
Right.
It's not that there's none, but like it's definitely more on the alcoholic beverages side for those drinks. And
It is. It is. It's heavy towards the alcohol because, I mean, it's called Food and Wine. But I feel like there's more beer now than there is wine.
I do
There's a lot
too.
of beer, a lot of craft beers there, and a lot of beer flights.
I mean, they look incredible. Though.
Right. And there's lots of good desserts. That's the one thing we both talked about. Like, ooh, I really want to try that. And that's the chocolate pudding cake over in Ireland, and then the carrot cake that's over in the America.
Mm-hmm.
So we may have to. I'll put those two out because those two are fairly easy to get.
Yeah. Yeah, some
Which
of them
it's
have
not
really
like
long.
feel like I'm eating a full meal. That's like something we could definitely get and share easily. There's nothing out like nothing there at Food and Wine right now that I'm like, I have to get this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things like, ooh, that sounds really good. I'd like to try that. It's gonna be what kind of mood are we in whenever we go by, and
I think it's
how
definitely
hungry
going to
are
be.
we?
I was gonna say, I think it's definitely going to be because this is going to be after we've been at Mickey's Not So Scary. So
Right.
one, it's going to be how exhausted are we,
right.
and how much, like, are we really wanting more sweet stuff, or did we eat too much candy last night? That'll be me.
Yeah.
I will be the one eating all the candy. But it's going to be a good trip. I'm super excited about
Right.
it. I'm super excited about our shirts for my birthday.
Yeah, those are
Mine
fun.
finally came in. I'm super excited about a fun thing we're doing in the room, which I will share with you guys on Instagram when we do it. Do you not remember what it is?
No.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter because we will share it, but I will share it in Instagram first.
Okay.
And so that is going to be where you're going to be able to get that exclusive first look at some of the stuff that we're doing. Is probably going to be on Instagram versus Twitter.
Oh, I remember what you're talking about now. Okay. Slow brain.
And you were offering me coffee before this.
Right.
Like, we are super excited about this
Right.
trip. It is just us.
Right.
It's just us. We are potentially meeting up with some friends.
Yeah, some people we've
some internet friends.
met on social media that kind of do some of this same stuff. I'm excited. I got a couple surprises up my sleeve.
Yeah, I'm very interested. There's a couple of them that I'm like, I have no idea what you're doing, but okay.
I got a couple surprises up my sleeve, and I'm hoping there's a big rumor that they're adding on to Enchantment. Yeah. And it could possibly be coming out this week. And I hope that we just happen to be there when it comes out. Because if it's what I think it is and what I've seen clips of, it's going to be fantastic, and it's probably going to bring on the tears.
Why? Why do I even bother wearing makeup to the park? I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna see little kids enjoying the magic, and I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna watch the fireworks. I'm gonna cry.
There's a lot of crying, especially during the nighttime shows. It's how it is. It's how it is. And then when they're doing all their meet and greets, all the fun meet and greets on Mickey's Not So Scary, those are good tears.
They are, but then I want to do the photos.
That's true. That's true.
Crazy man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it 100 times, but like, share, follow. We want to be able to not only share our love of these things and what we're excited about and our personal preferences, but also just, what we've learned.
Right.
And we want to make sure that, like, our experiences in going and our experiences doing this help you. Like, this is not just for us to, like, brag about.
Right.
This is because we want to help you have a really, really amazing vacation.
Right. This is something that brings us joy, and we want to be able to help you have a good time so that it can bring you joy as well. With that, I will say, please follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Salute to the Ears, and go out and have I was going to say your line. Go out and find your joy.
And have a magical week.